Today I am going to tell you 10 ways that I am saving money, and actually I have a bonus, so I guess it's technically 11. Hi, I'm Rachel Lynn and I am working on paying off my student loan debt. I'm also here to give you tips, tricks, inspiration, and motivation along your debt-free journey. If you have not already, please go ahead and click that red subscribe button down below so that we can inspire and motivate each other together. Let's go ahead and get into the list. The first way that I am saving money in 2020 is I'm making a budget and sticking to it. Now, I've been making a budget for a really long time. I am very well practiced at it, but it doesn't mean that I'm perfect. So I recommend to you, if you've never made a budget, go ahead and start and do your best to stick to it. But if you're new to it, you got to give yourself a little bit of grace. Because even though I have been doing my budget for several years now, I still tend to go over sometimes in categories. But I usually try to make sure that my other categories make up for it. So if I eat out a few many times in a certain month, then I make sure that I spend less money on myself, or I spend less money in my classroom, which, by the way, welcome to my classroom. The second way that I am saving money this year is I am buying less name brand products. Actually, this is something that I normally do for the most part, because I actually prefer a lot of the off-brand generic products, especially when it comes to groceries. It was what I was raised on. And then, of course, there are lots of taste tests that have been done that people actually tend to prefer the off-brand product. So really, this is just something that I'm going to continue doing to save money. 3, I'm going to take advantage of free things. Free concerts. I know in my city, there's a free concert. I think it's every Wednesday in the summer. There are plenty of other free events and festivals that are happening around my city all the time, and it just takes a little bit of research to kind of look these things up. Now, you might want to spend some money while you're there on food and other things that they have, but you can actually go and attend the event without cost. Eat before you go and not spend your money on stuff that you see. Then this is a great way to have a lot of fun and actually get out of the house without spending any money. There's also some things like free donut day at Krispy Kreme. And then, at least at my work, we tend to have food for lunch provided for us, or a potluck that we do about once a month. So I like to try to take advantage of that as well. 4th, I'm going to do without by being more creative. Now, I'm a teacher, and this is my first year in 2nd grade. I had been teaching kindergarten for several years, and I like to buy a lot of stuff for my class, but I am trying to be a little bit more creative and make some of my own things and use what I have rather than going out and buying different things. But as far as other ways to be creative, if you're out of macaroni, use spaghetti noodles instead, and you can have spag and cheese instead of mac and cheese. If I have a friend that wants to go out just to hang out and spend some time together, we can be more creative in doing free things, like going on a picnic and taking our own lunches, or just having a movie day at one of our houses with a movie that we already own, or maybe like a board game or a card game night or something like that, which doesn't really cost anything. 5th, I'm just going to use a little less in general. My waistline will probably thank me for this one by splitting a big meal into 2 meals. I would like to have more makeup-free days at work. That saves me twice, actually. It saves the makeup part, and it also saves the makeup remover part at the end of the day. And yes, I can be a female and work in a professional environment and do my job without makeup. 6, I'm going to eat out less often. This is one of those things that somehow I've been getting a little bit more lax on and kind of eating out a little bit more often. And I kind of wonder if maybe I've always eaten out this much. It's just I've always had gift cards to kind of make up for it. And well, I don't have as many gift cards as I used to have, but I'm still kind of going out like I used to. So I think I need to rein that in and just go out to eat less often. 7, I'm only going to the store if I absolutely must have something, and then of course I'm going to wait as long as I can until I actually go to the store. I put this in practice a couple weeks ago. There was something I was like, oh, I really need this from the store, and I was able to wait 2 weeks before I actually needed to buy what I needed to buy. 8, when I finally did go to the store, then I used a list and stuck to it. Now, I actually did put something else in the cart while I was there, but it was something that I actually needed that just didn't make it on my list. So, I'm going to try to be strict about my list, but if I really do need something, then I'll buy it while I'm there. 9, I'm going to utilize the library as much as I possibly can. Now, I've been doing this for about 2 years. The first year that I did this, I kind of struggled with returning my library books on time. I got much better at that last year. I think I only paid like $1 in fines last year, where the year before it was probably close to like $5 or $10. But still, if you think about it, those fines that I paid are still way cheaper than the number of books that I read. And if I had bought every single one of those books, I actually saved myself hundreds of dollars. And I've also gotten several audiobooks from the library. And then of course my library has their own app as well, so that I can get electronic books and electronic audiobooks on my phone. Or if you have a tablet, you can use them on there as well. 10, I'm going to ask for help. Now, I don't mean asking for money, but what I mean by this is asking to borrow things that I only need for a short time. I can ask my family and friends to try to help me be a little bit more creative in coming up with free things for us to do instead of going out to eat, instead of spending money on events and things like that. They can help me with that creativity part that sometimes I just don't. Sometimes that creativity is just not quite there, and I need a little bit of help with that. I can ask my work to see if they can provide things that I need instead of buying it for myself. This is something that I think is really, really hard for teachers to do. I know for me, it's my first impulse to think, oh, I need a pair of scissors. I'm going to go to the store and buy a pair, and then I have some scissors. But I guarantee you that somebody somewhere will have an extra pair of scissors that they will gladly let me have. By the way, I actually don't need scissors. I have plenty. And this is not all the scissors that I have either. And yeah, I know it says dry erase markers, but anyway, you get the point. So if there are any teacher friends that work with me and they need a pair of scissors, I will gladly give you a pair. There are plenty of other things that I sometimes need, and instead of going out and buying it, I can ask around and see if somebody else has it first that I can either borrow or even have. I can also ask my administration or the office if this is something that they can provide for me. I'm actually really interested in doing flexible seating. If you're a teacher, you probably know what I mean by this, but that is something that costs a lot of money, and I'm not going to go out and spend my own money on this. This is something that I'm going to ask to see if they will help me out with it. I can also ask others for help by maybe possibly bartering for things. I desperately need a haircut, and instead of going out and spending $20 to $100 on a haircut, I might actually know somebody that can cut hair fairly decently and then trade them for something that I can help provide for them. And then my bonus tip for ways I'm saving money in 2020 is I am holding on to my emergency fund and sinking funds. This is money that I have stashed away just in case of emergencies, for the emergency fund. And then I also have sinking funds, and these are funds that I save money towards for things that I know are coming up. I actually have a video all about sinking funds. I will link it at the end of this video and you can go and watch that. Now the big one on this is that it's going to save me money by keeping me from going into debt for things that I need. I forgot my car insurance came up every 6 months. Well, no I didn't, because I'm putting a little bit into my sinking fund each month. If I forget about Christmas and I want to spend extra money at Christmas, I'm not forgetting about that because that's in my sinking fund. I'm ready to spend for Christmas at Christmas time. And then of course, if something happens to my car, which by the way, the check engine light came on last week, so I need to get that checked out. But I have both a car repair sinking fund as well as my emergency fund to cover anything that might come up, so that I don't have to go into debt and I don't have to pay extra on that interest, and that is really saving me money. So I would love to know from you, what are some ways that you are saving money in 2020? Leave me a comment down below and let me know. Also, don't forget to like this video, and you can go follow me on Instagram at @therachelLynn. And of course, don't forget to go watch this video all about sinking funds so that you can know a little bit more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.